Welcome back everyone, and in this week's video we're going to be at my computer this time taking a look at Photoshop's new AI tools and to see if I have any use for it in my style of photography. Let's go ahead and hop into Photoshop and take a look at a few of my photos. Okay, we are in Photoshop now, looking at a few of my photos. I have 4 of them that we're going to go through. The first one is a photo I took a long time ago with the old Nikon D850. And I am no expert in Photoshop, and I'm definitely no expert in AI tools. So let's go ahead and see how this does with what they have, the generative fill. We're going to go ahead and extend the canvas out a little bit. Let's just go like that, hit enter, and grab the select tool and select a decent portion and invert it. And then down here where my mouse is, down at the bottom of the screen, it says generative fill. We're just going to click that, leave it blank, and just hit generative. It's going to take a few seconds, depending on how fast your computer is, to generate the background or an extended photo of it. And then off here to the right, you have 3 different options you can choose from to see kind of what you like and what would fit a bit better. I'm not sure which one I like the most out of this one, but if we zoom in, I mean, it looks really good just how it is, but if we go ahead and just zoom in off to the edge and grab and move it around right in here, you can see where the generative starts and the original photo ends. You lose a ton of quality between the two. What I've read and actually seen a couple videos is it's really designed for a 1024 by 1024 square of resolution. So if you went through and extended it that way and spent the time, you can actually get a really high resolution to match what you have. But for this example, I'm not going to go ahead and do that, just because this is just seeing if it works, how well it works, and if I even like it. I think this version looks okay to me. It's not something I think I'm going to actually continue to use very often. I don't see it in my photography as of yet of what I can use it for. Normally I shoot at the aspect ratio that I think I want to have, or a little bit wider, so then I can go ahead and crop and choose things that I want in or out of my photo. But I mean, I can see some people wanting to utilize this tool for their own photography. For me, not yet. But I mean, it did a really good job, and I'm surprised at how well it looks this far away when you're not zoomed in. Here's another one of my favorite photos that I took a couple of winters ago. We'll do the same thing. We'll grab the crop tool, extend the sides, hit enter, and same thing. Grab it, select it, and then inverse it. Generative fill. Leave it blank and just let it do its thing and see what options we have. All right, it's popped back up. First choice looks pretty good. Not sure. I don't know which one I like the most. They all look really good, but again, if we zoom in to the edge, you'll see the resolution difference. And I don't see a lot of people talking about that issue that it has right now. And yes, this is just the beginning of it, so I'd imagine that after a while Adobe's going to come through and increase the resolution each time with updates and that. So, but as a whole, as it sits like this, it looks incredible. Yeah, I'm gonna have to sit there and think about which one I want to do. I do like this one, except for this little spot right over here. If we zoom in, the snow kind of comes off the tree in a weird shape, so it doesn't really look natural at all. So I don't like that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with this one. Also, which I haven't mentioned yet, is everything you do with the generative fill is non-destructive. So over here on your layers panel, you'll see that it has a whole nother layer there with the generative layer. So you can toggle that on and off and see what it did. And then you can delete the layer if you don't like it at all, and do the whole selection again and see what it comes with. This one we're going to do a little bit more with it. We're just going to do the same thing. We're going to go ahead and extend the sides. Hit enter. And we're going to try something a little different. We're just going to select this one side and hit generative fill and see what it does. All right, that just finished up the one side. We'll click through and see if any of them work for me. I like the first one. Kind of matches with the environment that was there from what of my memory. Now let's select the other side. Oh, I don't like that one. Let's deselect that. Get a little overlap. Hit generative fill. And let this one do its thing. All right, that one finished up. And I'm not sure. Thinking I like the first one again. So we're gonna grab the lasso tool here and come down, and we're gonna go like that. And instead of just letting it do its own fill, we're gonna write in lake in the description and hit generate. And see if we can come away with a pretty good lake with some reflections in it. Well, it's all done. That first one looks pretty good, and looks like if there was a lake in this little meadow or a pond, it would probably look similar to that. See what the next one is. That one's not too bad either. Not sure, like with all the other ones, which one I like the most, but this one with the log right down here gives it a little bit more interest to look at. But if we zoom in again and look at it, oh, there we go, wrong button. Hold the space bar down and be able to click and drag. You can see over on the bottom left, you have the original photo. If we zoom in, you can see where it transitions to being low quality again, doesn't match the resolution. And the same thing in the distance here, doesn't really blend in the best. But I mean, this is pixel peeping, and that, with this type of stuff, I think is completely okay to do. I don't see this being a really usable image. None of the three that I've done have been usable in the sense of printing it because of the resolution is so little. But for like Instagram or Facebook, and you're just wanting to share and show kind of what's going on and the capabilities of it, not a problem at all. For me, still not a use of it yet. Quality is not there, and honestly, I really like natural, realistic photos. Very little Photoshop done, but I definitely can see a use for this for a lot of different people. Let's hop on to the next photo here. This one, we're not actually going to do the generative fill at all this time. They have another tool in here that is the remove tool. And I don't know if they've had it before. All the things I've seen is that it's been recent. So I've never used it until playing around with this fox photo, which happens to be one of my favorite ones. But the issue that I have is you have all these sticks and twigs going through the image that's distracting of it. So we're gonna start over here on the left backside. We just grab that and paint over the area that we want to have it remove. And that did a really good job at removing that. There's another one over here right in the center. We'll go ahead and paint over that one, get rid of that. This is the tool I think I'll use more than not out of the AI stuff. Let's see how this one does. That one didn't quite do as good of a job, so we'll try it again. That one did pretty good, kept the ear intact. And we'll just go ahead and finish this one up here. Not too bad, I'll get rid of that little spot. Get rid of that. Anything that's kind of distracting for it, let's go ahead and go up this way. Move that piece. And just continue going, removing the things that I don't really like in it. I don't know what happened there. Let's redo that. Try a different angle. Let's get rid of that. And we'll get rid of this. And yeah, that is just incredible of how well that remove tool works. Doing the cloning tool and the healing brush in the past, that you would see just muddled images, just would not look very good. Like, this is something I know I will use more often, and I've tried it with a couple different photos, different things, and it's not the greatest when it comes to complex things, like removing a leash off of my dog. But doing this photo here, I'm really impressed with this tool. So this one, and that one is destructive because it's not a generative fill. You see there's no layers over here, but you can always hit the return or the undo button to go backwards. As long as you have enough steps, you can go all the way back to the beginning. So just keep that in mind when you're doing the remove tool. Yeah, I think that remove tool did really good. That's something I know I'll use for sure. The other ones, like this looks like a great little photo. I'm really impressed with how well it created a whole like pond, lake, by just typing one little word in and extending it. It looks really good, but again, all three of these have resolution issues that makes it unusable for me. Well, I really enjoyed playing with Photoshop's AI tool. Is it the beginning of the end for photography? No, I don't think so. Is it going to be something I'm going to be using within my own workflow? No, hardly ever at all, unless it's just playing around like we did today. The remove tool, on the other hand, is something that I'll be using when it comes to removing distracting elements, especially like the fox photo from today. It did a fantastic job of removing those twigs. I'm really impressed with it. Curious to know what you guys think and how well it handled it, and how it did the generative fill, what you guys think about those photos from today. Please leave a comment below on what you guys think. And if you guys enjoyed any of the content from today, I'd really appreciate it if you'd hit the subscribe button, the like button, all that really helps me out. Again, thanks for taking the time watching the video, and we'll see you next week.